Hi, hello, welcome. My name's Randy. I love everything crochet, and if you love everything crochet, you should definitely subscribe to my channel and follow my Instagram, which is always linked down below. Now, today, I get the lighting's not very great. It's not very great throughout this video. It's becoming fall, which is my favorite season, and which means it's getting darker earlier, which in a house that does not have many overhead lights, and the overhead lights we do have are insanely bright, it creates some not so great lighting. So I do apologize for that, but let's start talking about what we're making today, which is probably my favorite and most cherished childhood character. It is the one and only Scooby-Doo. Now, I did style him more like a teddy bear because I wanted him to be cuddly. I think that a lot of Scooby-Doos that you find are not like super cuddly just because of his natural shape. Here he kind of is, but I will say his face is not perfect. So in this video, it's more of a guide. This is not my most cohesive tutorial. This is definitely advanced. It's definitely a more follow your heart, like here is like the gist of what I did, follow your heart guide slash tutorial. I also wish you could see his collar a little better when he's sitting there, but that's okay. We will still love him very much. He was made for our home, so he will be staying either way. I also wanted to mention before this video starts, one, I always start out very slow and I pick up with like the speed of my tutorial as it goes on, but also I made the base way too large. So when I go, I think it's 2 stitches in one, then 6, then 2 stitches in one, that's too big. Like whatever is the last expanding for his bottom, do not do it. It was way too large. I do not recommend going to that size. Stop one advance. I had to do a seam on his back, which I actually did a pretty good job. But yeah, I have rambled on for too long. Everything I used is in the description box down below. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so to start, I'm using Premier Little Bunny yarn in the color Teddy Bear. I'm using a 5.5mm hook, which I don't think you can see. There it is. And stitch marker to start. Now, I bought this yarn like months and months ago to do this project, and I've just really had a hard time deciding how I wanted to do it. But today we're just gonna go. We're just gonna start and we're gonna go. And I think sometimes that's the best thing you can do. So I'm going to do my magic ring. I typically do 4 starting chain, go into the first stitch, and then pull through, creating a loop. I don't know why it's being weird with the where it's trying to focus at here. All right, I fixed the focus, but and then we're going to do, I think 6, but let's see with this yarn. Depending on what kind of yarn you're using, you might need to slightly adjust because you'll want to fit all the way around here. So I think 6 is the appropriate number. It's been a while since I've used Little Bunny. So actually, it's like one of those ones where you could make 8 work, so I am going to. So I could make 8 stitches work. Depending on the yarn you have, you just want to where your last stitch and your first stitch touch. And now I am going to put 2 stitches into the first. This is a term I'll be using whenever we're expanding. Basically what I mean is I put my single crochet stitch, the first single crochet stitch for this round, into the first from the previous round, and then for my second I also go into the first stitch from the previous round. So there's 2 stitches into one, doubling how many stitches are there, and I'm going to do that all the way around. So I'm going to put 2 stitches in every stitch, repeating all the way around, and so I'm turning 8 stitches into 16. So I have my 16 stitches, and I consider that round 2. So the first round in my head is the 8 stitches. This is round 2. For round 3, we're going to put 2 stitches into the first. So once again, go back into that same previous round. And then a single stitch, just do 1 and 1, then 2 stitches, and then a single. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around, which is another term I'll use throughout this video. That means you just complete the pattern all the way to the last stitch before moving on to our next round. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2 single, 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2 single, repeating all the way around. 2 stitches in a 1, then 1, 2, 3 single stitches, 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2, 3 single, repeating the pattern all the way around. Last round of expanding, and in what I'm envisioning, this is basically like the back of the head or the front of the head, whichever way you want to do it. I'm going to do this as the back of the head because where we'll have our like tail / ending piece will be perfect to attach the muzzle. So this is the back of the head, but this is our last expanding round. So 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2, 3, 4, repeating that pattern all the way around. All right, so now we are going to start building this way towards the face and the muzzle. So we are just going to do a single stitch in every stitch, and we're going to start by putting our stitch marker in there, and like I said, you're just going to stay the same. So 1 stitch in every stitch from the previous round to start to form like where the top of the head and then eventually the face will be. For a to be determined amount of rounds, I'll let you know in the next clip. So I showed you the start of my first round of staying the same, and I did 6 rounds total, including what we saw in the last clip. So after my 6 rounds of staying the same, I am going to reduce here. And when I say reduce, I'm going to go into my first stitch of my last round, pull loop through, go into my next stitch from my last round, pull loop through, and then loop all the way through every single stitch, turning 2 stitches into 1 single stitch. When I use the term 2 stitches into 1, that is what I mean. And then because we stopped off at 4 of the single stitches, I'm going to do 5 because I find that it just like is a smoother transition. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet stitches, and then reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 5 single, and I'm going to repeat that pattern all the way around. It will not finish off perfectly since we did add extra stitches, but that is the pattern you'll do. The next round we're going to continue to reduce, so reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4 single stitches, then reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 4 single, repeating that pattern all the way around. Reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 3 single, repeating all the way around. Reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2 single, repeating all the way around. Now, I have not added the eyes because I'm going to add the muzzle down here, and his eyes sit pretty low down to his muzzle, so I kind of need them where this opening is. So I actually think I am going to do this side as the front of the face because I think I won't have room to put in my safety eyes. I am going to use safety eyes, and then I'm going to use white yarn after the fact to kind of add some detailing and character to the eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that while I still have enough of an opening, and then we'll keep. I'm going to go ahead and start on the muzzle / nose. So we are going to do it the same way I started the head by doing a magic ring and then putting 8 single stitches into the center. Then once again for the next round, we'll also put 2 stitches in every stitch, equating 16 stitches for this round. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1 single stitch, then 2 stitches in the next, then a single stitch, repeating all the way around. 2 stitches in the first, then 1 2 single stitches, then 2 stitches in the next, then 1 2 single, repeating all the way around. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1 2 3 single, 2 stitches in the next, then 1 2 3 single, repeating all the way around. We are now going to be staying the same to add a little bit of depth. So we're going to put a single stitch in every stitch, repeating all the way around, and I'll probably do 2 or 3 rounds. I will let you know when I come back. I did 3 rounds of staying the same to kind of give it a little definition, and you may notice this isn't quite the proper shape, but I am going to use my black acrylic to do the nose and the smile to give it a little bit more of the proper shape. So I kind of outlined what I want to do. I have like a slight smile on him. I'm gonna fill in this part. I'm also gonna get white acrylic because specifically in a pup named Scooby-Doo, he does kind of have like a white shine to his nose. And why I'm gonna do this outline is because I'm gonna use that to, when I stitch it, because he has more of like a chin in the cheeks and a smile. So I went ahead and did that, so when I shape it onto the face, I can have, or when I attach it, I can kind of shape it even though I did just a simple circle. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in the nose, and then I can also attach the eyes once I stitch this on. But if you like the round face, you can keep it like so, or you can basically stitch where he kind of has the chin, the cheeks, and the nose all like that, and we'll stuff this as well, which I will do in a moment. All right, so I finished stitching in the face. I got a slight smile. I think the face is very customizable, but basically you want to do like a very like slightly rounded but still traditional like dog-shaped nose, a line. I did all the way to the corners, kind of pulled, because his face shape kind of has like his chin, and his face shape's more, his like face is more like that shape. So that's what I did. I did not show myself embroidering it because I'm horrible at embroidery, and I did not want to bore you guys with how many times I messed up. So that's just like generalized what I did, and I have not stuffed this part or finished this part because I thought it would be best to attach first. Let me find the end here. And basically I'm going to attach the muzzle here and get like a very good, well attached piece. And once I get around to the end here, I'm gonna then stuff it, because we do want to stuff this part. So this is where you can shape it. Like I said before, I'm gonna pull kind of like this, where the nose is to the top, cleft the chin a little bit, give him some shape. I know I'm just talking at you guys, but it's gonna be very hard for me to show you with the fluffy yarn. But basically, you just want to shape the face as you sew it. Same with the embroidery. You kind of just want to be very intentional with your embroidery, but also go with your heart. Do a face of Scooby you would like to see, maybe that you haven't seen in plush form and whatnot. Also, don't be afraid to use a stitch marker to kind of stitch your next point in place. I often don't like stitch it all the way around. I kind of just go with it as I do, so I can kind of keep an eye on it. So I'll do a small patch, clip, then clip down here and keep going all the way around. But I'm done talking now. So I went ahead and stuffed the face, the front piece, as well as I added, these are 16, I believe, millimeter safety eyes. I added a little bit of white chenille around it. I don't know if I love it yet. And I also added black acrylic for the eyebrows. I think the ears will make a huge difference for this. But I stuffed it, and as you can see, the back of the head kind of flattens out, which is okay, because that is where we're gonna add the neck anyways. But for the next round, we're gonna reduce 2 stitches into 1, and then 1 2 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches and 1, then 1 2 single, repeating all the way around because my opening is still quite large. I did an extra round of 2 stitches into 1, then 2 single, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 2 single because my opening was too wide. And now I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then a single stitch, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then a single stitch. And after I repeat that all the way around, I'm going to pull the opening closed and tie it off. I went ahead and made one ear to kind of get an idea of how I want to do it. I am going to try to go through as slow as possible, explaining how I'm doing the ear to you guys, because sometimes I do think it can be lost in translation a little bit. But you'll need 4 pieces, so you'll have to do this process 4 times, because this is 2, a front and a back sewn together. Why I do that is it makes it nice and stiff. So yeah, we need two pieces for each ear. And to start, I'm still going to use the same hook, the same yarn, and I want to leave a long enough tail that I can use it to stitch it. Now, we're going to do a starting chain of 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then we're going to skip the last stitch here, go into the second stitch, and do single crochet all the way across. So you should have 6 single crochet stitches, so 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, and then we're going to flip our work, go into the first one, and then go all the way across. So you should have, once again, 6 single crochet stitches all the way across, and then we're going to do one more row. So this is our 3rd row of 6 stitches. So 1, 2, I literally set that back down on top of my yarn, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now this is the part where I can lose people, mostly because it's very hard to see fluffy yarn, so you can't really see what I'm doing. But I'm going to weave through my first stitch, weave through the second stitch. I have a loop on from both, reducing 2 stitches into 1, and then I'll just do 1, 2, 3, then 4 single crochet stitches. And then when I flip my work again, I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, so go through the first one, go into the second one, pull through to create 1, then 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do that again, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, and then we're going to do a just regular row, so 1, 2, 3. I did not reduce, I just went into every stitch available, and then I'm going to flip one more time and reduce 2 stitches into 1, pulling all the way through, creating an ear. Like I said, we'll do that multiple times so we can stitch these together, which I'll show next. So I'm taking 2 pieces that I crocheted, and you can either start with the top. Well, actually, I am going to start with the top because I'm going to use these 2 pieces to attach it to his head. Alright, so I'm just going to weave the front and back of the ear together with the 2 tops here. And I'll weave it just like through the top stitch of each, all the way down. Like I said, you want to make sure you have a nice long tail so you have enough to stitch with, and then I will tie this side off, and I'll do the same with the other so we can attach the ear. And you obviously want to do that twice, unless you want a one-ear Scooby-Doo, because I'm not going to tell you how to make your Scooby, but we'll attach that, and then we'll move on to his body.
And then there's a layer of spinach. So like there's a layer of spinach,
To start the body, we're gonna do our magic ring, whichever way you do it. And we are going to put 8 stitches into the center, or if the yarn you are using only needs 6, then do 6 stitches into the center. Next round, we are going to do 2 stitches in every stitch. We are expanding, and in case it's been way too long, because I don't know how long the clips are yet, you go back into the same stitch for twice, I guess, for 2 stitches all the way around. So if you have 8 from your starting round, then you'll have 16 for this round. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then a single stitch, 2 stitches in the next, then a single, repeating all the way. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2 single stitches, 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2 single, repeating the pattern all the way around. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3 single stitches, 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2, 3, repeating the pattern all the way around. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2 stitches in the next, then 1, 2, 3, 4 single stitches, repeating the pattern all the way around. Next round, 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single stitches, 2 stitches in the next, then 5 single, repeating all the way around. Last round of expanding, and this is kind of going to be like his bottom, what he'll sit on if you want him to be sitting, or like here will be where his tail will be for a point of reference for what we're doing. So we're going to put 2 stitches in the first, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 2 stitches in the next, then 6 single, repeating that pattern all the way around. Now I'm just going to do a single stitch in every stitch, repeating all the way around. I am going to be doing this for quite a few rounds because we're going to get kind of like the base of the body, and then we're going to go in a little bit because he does have a little bit of a waist, and then we'll go back out. So I will be doing a single stitch in every stitch, repeating all the way around for a amount of rounds that I will tell you in the next. I did 10 rounds of staying the same, and now I'm going to start reducing. So I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then I'm going to do 6 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches in 1, then 6 single, repeating that pattern all the way around. 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 5 single, repeating all the way around. Reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 4, repeating all the way around. After that last round, we're going to do a few rounds of staying the same, a single stitch in every stitch, repeating all the way around. So I will let you know in the next clip how many. I did 2 rounds of staying the same, and my opening is still too wide, so I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 3 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches in 1, then 3 single, repeating all the way around. The opening is still too large, so I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2 single stitches, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2 single, repeating the pattern all the way around. I will say, I am going to mention at the start of the video, but I did make the body too big. I'm going to fix that, and so yeah, I already know the body is too big. That will be mentioned at the beginning of the video to prevent you guys from making the body too big, but I am kind of trying to correct it right now for myself. I did 6 rounds, actually I think it was just 5 rounds of staying the same. I also fixed the body shape a little bit. Now we are going to put this back on here, and basically I want to create like a piece where I can connect his chin onto here, but have kind of like a back of the neck piece so it sits a little smoother, especially when he is seated. So I'm just going to build it up where, I don't know if that you can see that very well. I know it's a little dim in here. Actually, maybe I won't do that. I don't know. I'm gonna test it out and we'll see. I am going to do a little bit of a like half circle here. So I'm gonna mark my first stitch so I don't lose where I started. And then we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, And I'm gonna basically go where it's not like a complete like half circle, but pretty close. 10, 11. So we're gonna do 11. Like I'll do 12 to make it more of a half circle. And then we're going to flip our work. I have a bit of yarn tangled in here. And then I'm going to reduce 2 stitches into 1 and go across for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think that was quite right, but that's fine. And then we're gonna reduce 2 stitches into 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm gonna reduce 2 stitches into 1, and then I am going to finish this off. This is gonna go onto the back of the neck, and I'm going to stuff the body firmly. I know that wasn't super clear, and I'm sorry, and it's dark, but it is what it is with that, because I did mess up the body quite a bit, and I'm just currently trying to fix him a little bit. As you're attaching the neck to the head, you want to make sure you attach it like wide, as well as take into consideration, do you want him to be like propped up where he's kind of like more of like a teddy bear, where his arms are, where he kind of sits on like this with his arms, or do you want him to sit more like a traditional dog? Keep that in mind, but also make sure you are stitching wide enough here so that the neck does not get floppy and extra stuffing when you are almost done stitching it. We are going to be making the front legs. I already did one to see how many rows I want to do, and he's got skinnier legs and I want them to be longer because I want mine to kind of like have the appearance of sitting up. His head is way too big though to actually be sitting up. But to start with the front legs, you're going to want to do a starting chain of 16, and then we are going to once again do single crochet stitches, and you want to do 9 rows of 15. I typically do even numbers because usually I want my tails on opposite ends, so when I weave it together they will be on the same one, but this time I don't, because I want to weave this down here and I still want a piece up here to attach to the body, but I also want a piece at this end to attach to the paws I will make after I make the arms and the legs. So that is why I'm doing that. If you want to do it a little different, you can add another row and make it easier where both are on the same end, a little easier and cleaner than having them on 2 ends. But yes, that is why I'm doing that, because I'm going to do the paws separate. For the legs, or I guess this is for the arms, I made my tails way too long, but that's okay. I am going to weave them together. So I have my 2 tails on this side, so I'm going to fold it a hot dog style. He has very like skinny, thin legs, and I'm just going to weave back and forth across the top stitch all the way down. So I'll put my finger here so you can see and not get the other one tangled. There we go. Put my finger here and we'll just weave back and forth like so, and try not to go through the same spot twice. And because these legs are a little on the thicker side, I am going to stuff these after I attach the paws, but I'm going to do that to both, and then we're going to make the paws. I think I said I was going to do the paws next, but I am going to go ahead and do the legs. So once again, I did a starting chain of 16 because I want them to be the same length, but I did do 2 more rows for the just to make the legs a little thicker. So I did 11 rows of 15 single crochet stitches, and then once again you're gonna fold it hot dog style and stitch up, and then we will make the paws. Now all 4 paws I'm doing the exact same. So I'm gonna start with a magic ring, and then I'm gonna put 8 stitches inside the magic ring. If you before had a yarn that you could only put 6 stitches in, only do 6, but I can fit 8. So I'm going to do 8 stitches into my magic ring. And then you wanna, we're expanding, so we're gonna put 2 stitches in every stitch. So 2 stitches in the first, 2 stitches in the next, so on and so forth. So I'll have 16 stitches in total for this round. And now after having a round of expanding into 16 stitches, we're now gonna put a single stitch in every stitch for 4 rounds. So we'll have 4 more rounds of 16 crochet stitches. Reduce 2 stitches into 1, then a single stitch, reduce 2 stitches into 1, then a single stitch, repeating all the way around. And then we're going to stuff it and seal the paw up, and then attach it to the body like so. I don't know why I don't like to do tails too long, so I once again did a starting chain of 16, and I'm going to do rows of 15, and in the next clip I'll let you know how many rows I did. I did 6 rows for the tail, 6 rows of 15 to be specific, and now I'm going to once again go fold it hot dog style, stitch it up, and then attach it. Now Scooby has a big black spot on his back, which I will crochet separately and sew on, but for these small spots on his like arm / shoulder, I am embroidering those on, and I'm gonna embroider them on both sides. I'm kind of doing like slightly triangular shapes. So yeah, that's what I will do with that, and then I will show you how I make the patch for the back, and then we just have to make his collar. So for the back spot, it's gonna be very hard to see because this yarn is extra fluffy. This is just fluffy black yarn. I had extra of, I did a starting chain of 10. Depending on what kind of yarn you use, you might need to make it larger or smaller. It will just depend. I did a single crochet row of 9. And like I said, it's going to be very hard to see this, but I'm going to go back into my final stitch for a second time. So that's 10. Then I'm going to flip my work where it's kind of vertical instead of horizontal. I'm gonna go into that last stitch for kind of like a, almost like creating a top stitch. Basically I'm creating an oval instead of a circle. So I'm going to do one of those, and then I'm going to flip my work completely to the other side, and I'm going to go into that same stitch, the first stitch on this side, twice. And then I'm going to do a single stitch in every stitch. This is going to get a little complex, so I'm sorry, a little hard to see, especially if I'm not on camera here. But you want to do a single stitch in every stitch. My hook got tangled in it. And then once again, when I get to this end here, I'm going to go into my end once, but then I'm going to go a second time into the end. Then I'm going to have it vertical and go into the very tip of it once, then flip our work and go into this last stitch twice, then just go into every stitch a single time. And I'm going to do that as I go around every time, because I am just trying to create an oval. I also understand I made this like weird piece here. I don't know how I did that. Sometimes fluffy yarn works in mysterious ways and you end up with an extra loop there. But once again, we're at the end. So on this last stitch, I'm going to put 2 stitches, then a single stitch on the end. And you're going to start like getting to where you'll have extra stitches and whatnot. So just always keep the last stitch on your end by adding 2. Make sure you go around the vertical part, and you should be creating an oval shape, which will be perfect for Scooby's back. I went around, I think, about 3.5 times. If I think I go to right here, I might have like a weird like bump to it, but it would be even. It's a little crooked right now, but I don't go for perfection on my pieces. Scooby's already a little wonky, so I'm okay with that. But this you kind of want to go for, it's kind of like when you're cooking for taste, for preference of how you want it to look. This is about the size I want it. So I am going to cut a piece long enough where I can stitch this into the back. How long you make your starting chain for your collar will depend, one, on the yarn you use. I highly encourage, if you have a blue that is appropriate for Scooby's collar, to just reuse what you have. Like I said, I didn't have anything that really worked. I have like dark like royal blues and like super light blues, and I wanted to try and stay true to the color. But I did a starting chain of 32. This is what fits around my Scooby's neck. The necks will probably also vary since this has not been the most cohesive of my tutorials. And then we're gonna flip our work. You skip your first stitch, do a single stitch in every stitch, and I'll tell you how many rows I did. I did 3 rows of 31. I will say it's a little tight, but that's okay. And the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to wrap it around and stitch the 2 ends together here already around where it will not come off, because obviously it won't pull over the head or over the shoulders, so that way it is stationary. And I'll probably set it where I will do the gold dog tag over top of the seam so you cannot see it. The dog tag will definitely be based on preference, but I did a starting chain of 5. I did 4 rows of 4 single crochet stitches. I did 4 single crochet, or I did a starting chain of 4 basically off of the end of this, and then I did 3 single crochet stitches back into this, so I have kind of like the piece that attaches to the collar. And now I'm going to cut this and attach it to the collar. Here is the completed piece. I will say it's definitely not my best work by any means. Here is his collar. Here is like, oop, his back. I think from the back you can definitely be like, oh, that's Scooby. The face is just like a little off. I realize he kind of looks more like Scrappy. Let me try and set him back up. I made him kind of like teddy bear style where he's sitting. I wish there was a better way where you could see his collar a little more when he's sitting. But I think he looks a little more Scrappy-ish. He looks a little more French Bulldog, or like Bulldog in general, Pit Bull, than a Great Dane. I think that is where I went the most wrong, is just with the pure face shape. But I think he turned out overall pretty good. I'll definitely be coming back to make another Scooby-Doo in the future. But until now, he is like a fun, cute version of Scooby. If you enjoyed this video, you should definitely subscribe to my channel and go follow my Instagram down below. Bye!